everybody, it's Christine. It's time for a scrapbook process video. And what I have is a scrap from Flavors of the Month from September. No, lies. November? Lies. Yes, maybe November. I'm sorry, y'all. It's one of those. It's Fancy Pants Enchanted Garden. And these are the papers that came with it. And then I got these little baby embellishments here. It's like little florals. Actually, there's like a pumpkin and stuff. I'm not really sure if I'll be able to use that. We shall see. It's kind of fallish, you know. But what I really love about this is this drama of these papers. Saturn, move out of the way, baby. It's the drama of these papers. I mean, the back side is more fallish, right? You can see like the leaves and the pumpkins and stuff. But I really do love the drama of these. I also do love the yellow and black on this one. So these four are kind of the things I'm thinking about. And then I got black cardstock. The picture I have is me and my daughter. We're actually drinking boba tea in DC. I love the like snowy tiger milk stuff. It's got like a brown sugar drizzle and stuff like that. It's so bad for you, but it's so good. And I think what I'm going to use now, this is actually from, I think this is September's Freaky Fast Friday. I've pulled out from two different kits, y'all, and I'm so sorry, I don't remember. I'm thinking I might use it because I can use 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 papers. I'm not certain. Maybe on top of the black is, or no, there's 2 here. I have to think about this because I want to use these papers and be all drama and stuff. So that's what I'm starting with. So give me just a second. I'm going to have to think. I kind of think the black floral could go here. Then we can work from there. So that's kind of my thinking. All right, give me just a second. Let me move this cat and I'll be back on. Y'all, the cats have been very invasive today. You are going to see both of these little stinkers show up a couple of times because I just couldn't keep them off my desk today. So I've got that black cardstock. That's going to be my base. And then I have this gorgeous, I mean, beautiful black with the florals on it. I just love that piece of paper. I don't know what it is about it, but it just really attracts me. So that's going to be on the right-hand side. Now, I actually cut that probably about 1 inch too wide, but that's okay because I'm going to take the border strips that I cut off the bottom of the papers. I was actually kind of setting them aside, and I looked and I went, oh, wait a minute, those are kind of neat. And so I flipped them over, and I decided to use them along the side, and so that's going to go on the edge, so it just kind of makes it not look as wide, but it works perfectly. And then I used that black and white kind of diamondy paper on the far left, and then that border strip that matched my paper on the right there on the left-hand side. So I think this looks neat. I love this a lot. Now I'm going to cut the little pieces that go behind the photograph, and I'm going to do the black and yellow, and then I'm going to do the red and black plaid. So I'm going to end up with some really good-sized scraps. I can do one more layout. I don't know what I'm going to do of it, but I got one more, enough for another layout if I want to. Or I can start mixing and matching stuff. I need to kind of get into my collections and things. I've been watching Shannon Allor over at She's Crafty has been doing like a re-kitting, or she's de-kitted and then she's re-kitting, and I'm loving her series. And I'm thinking I might do something. I mentioned this already about my hip kits, and I'm for sure going to do those. But I'm looking at all these extra little pieces. I've got so much papers and stuff on I have a shelf over here that it's like kind of by theme. I hardly ever get into that, y'all. I'm always in kind of what I call my active kits, even though the active kits can be really old too. Anyways, so I've got all the papers cut. I will scuff the edges basically of all the papers. I'm going to scuff the edges of the border strips if I hadn't already, and I'm going to scuff the edges of these outside of these photo mats here. I did use this little, see, there's Mr. Oreo. I use that. He's playing too. Look at him. I feel bad. Like, I don't want to be mean to them and kick them off in like a mean way because I don't think they're trying to be ugly. Well, I don't know. When they come sit right in the middle of it, I feel like they are trying to be ugly because they're like, look at me, versus just kind of being curious. Whereas Oreo right now is just kind of being curious. He just wants to see what's going on. And look at that. Now, see, he sat right down. I'm like, what are you doing, little stinker? So, okay. So I got my photo mat going over here. You can't really see that those are like pumpkins or gourds or whatever. With my little photo mat. It's more like white with just the colors, and so I really like that. So I'll scuff the edges of those. I will have to get into my stash for my title. I didn't care. The two that kind of came in the ephemera pack was like Cutie and or something like that. It just had nothing to do with nothing. So that's okay. I'm going to go get letters in a minute. I'm going to actually end up with, I feel bad because I put my where to next letters in my normal thicker sections or whatever you want to call it, my little bucket. And I usually try to keep collections together. So I'm not sure how or why I did that, but It's okay because I've used it a couple times on other layouts. But it's going to be called Boba in DC. The N is actually going to be a little bit of a script font. And I really like how that title turned out too. But yeah, here's me kind of scuffing the edges of the little border strips. And you can kind of see what I got going on here. Now, I will tell you the florals that I pull out from the ephemera, I can't sit here and tell you that I remember tons of florals. I mean, we did go to the Arboretum up there, and it was pretty, but it was kind of indoors. Outside in the wintertime in DC is cold. I don't think it had snowed really, but like the water in the big water feature, I don't know if I don't want to call it the wrong thing, but I feel like that's called Mall of the America or something like that. But all the water was frozen. But this boba tea was so good, y'all. We'd been walking. We had like 30,000 steps, something like that, 32,000 steps. And this was probably 3/4 of the way through our day where we just walked and stuff. And that boba tea was so good. I needed that little bit of energy. I had drunk all my energy tea kits, y'all. We went through those pretty fast. I don't know. We didn't plan well or something because we did take some, but we just ran out. So I think because 3 of us and I didn't really plan well enough for 3 people. Yeah, we ran out. Okay, so I got my little border strips glued down, and I'm going to scuff the edges here, and then I'm not going to cut away. I am going to cut away so you don't have to see all that. But I've got those pieces down, and then I'm going to actually put my photo up on foam. I'm going to piecemeal this together. I have a little baggie of foam. You can see it right there. I've been cutting into big pieces, and I realized the other day, I'm like, Christine, start using some of these smaller pieces. Now, some of them are real tiny, so they're really kind of meant for, behind little embellishments and things like that. But these pieces right here work perfectly fine for the back of a photo. So I'm going to do this piece, and I'm going to put it up. Then I will pull out my florals, y'all. I will find one little, like a label on a sticker sheet that's kind of laying on my desk here. And I was like, oh, where'd you come from? But the little label color made perfect sense because it's the right color. And in the sketch, it showed a little label in the upper right corner. So you'll see that in just a minute. I don't put the date on it. I need to go back and put the date on it. I mean, the title kind of works. I need to just put all these DC layouts into a single album, and then I won't have to do so much dating, obviously. But here's me pulling out the ephemeras, y'all. Okay, so some of the flowers and stuff, I don't really want to use, like, I have one flower that, I don't know if y'all hear something. They're fussing right now. So if you hear these cats going, they're fine, but at the same time, they're fussing. So Oreo wants to play, and Saturn's like, don't bother me, but then she goes looking for him. So I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if it's like, again, like little kids that want to play, but they get in a fight because of it. Who knows? Anyway, here's me putting my little title down. Now I mess around with this little eye. I think I cut some of this out, but I struggle with these little, my fingernails are not that long, and yet I still seem to have trouble picking these letters up. And then I try to use my tweezers, and then it's like that Pretty Woman scene where she's picking up the oyster or whatever in her tongs, and it just goes flying. That's about half the time what happens to me. All right, so I got my title figured out right there, and I think that looks really cute. There's my little label. I'm going to put that down. That's that set. It's actually a really old, I think it's a Jen Hadfield collection, a really old set. I no longer have any papers left. All I have are those little stickers, and I think I have some little cards or cut-aparts or something, but nothing else. Now I'm going to find the little florals here, and this is what's going to go where the sketch had, I think it was hearts maybe, in the upper corner of the picture, in the lower right corner of the picture. I think this turned out really cute, though. I love this paper. I just can't get over it. This black, for some reason, I don't know why, that's really attracted me. I like that little flower there. Kind of matches the one on the right-hand side, the big one, so that looks cute. And I'll bring in a green one, that green one right there. I tried that pink floral on the upper right on the label. I decided against it, actually. That's going to go away. I don't like that up there. I try these leaves, and I go, that looks dumb on top of the other flower, so that doesn't go on there either. So I do end up with a few little pieces left over. And then I just kind of build up those florals right there. I will put foam up underneath the edges of some of the florals. Well, pretty much all the florals, actually. The one on the lower right corner of the photo gets foam their whole way, so it matches the photo. But then the pieces that are kind of like the little pink flower that comes up, I put a little foam underneath the edge of it. And the top up there, you just saw me put that little black or that little dark brown flower. He gets a little. Now, see, here they are both. Now, they'll sit there by them. They'll get within, that close to each other without any kind of fussing. So, again, I think it's a mood thing, y'all. It's not that they can't get along. They just don't want to sometimes. It's because she's sitting there paying attention. Then he hopped up in there, and I don't know. Who knows? I decided to get in my stash for enamel dots, and I picked out a few that kind of the colors went. I'm trying to, again, I've been inspired by She's Crafty over there. She's using all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, Christine, just get into your stuff and use it. And especially on these little kits with the scrap room, while there's goodly amounts of embellishments, it's like you can certainly add because you don't have an overabundance necessarily. Well, I take it back. When you get the sticker sheets, there's usually too much. But anyway, that's what I ended up with, you guys. I really appreciate you watching. Make sure you do the like and subscribe thing. And I hope you guys are having a good holiday season. I'm not sure. I forget which day of the week this is going to go up, but I hope you have a good day, and we will see you next time. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.